it's Jan. I'm a yoga instructor and I'm going to show you today how to get great six-pack abs with practicing vinyasa style yoga. So first we're going to start on our backs. You're going to come to your back. Extend your legs straight up into the air. So your ankles line up over your hips. And you're going to reach your fingertips up towards your toes. Draw your belly in. You're going to lift your shoulder blades, head and neck up off the floor or off your mat. Exhale and take a couple breaths. You're going to draw your navel deeply down into the spine so you're engaging your abs. And take a couple more breaths. This is just kind of an exercise to help kind of warm up the abs for the exercises to follow. And take another breath, one more. Good, and then you're going to exhale and release your head, neck, and shoulder blades down, your arms down. You're going to lower one leg now. And then hover the right heel, the right leg above the floor, flexing the foot. You're going to reach your arms beside the legs. You're going to lift your head up, neck and shoulders, and then you're going to switch legs, flexing the feet. Draw your belly in, keeping your navel drawing down to the spine, like straight down into the floor. Good, and just breathe. If you want to modify this, if it's too hard in this particular way, you don't have to lower your legs as far. So you can kind of just lower them halfway. Okay? If you feel this in the low back at all, if you feel any pain, you don't want to do this exercise. Okay, it's not for you. Okay, but otherwise just press your low back down into the mat. And continuing to scissor the legs. Good. If your neck gets tired, you can place one hand behind the head to support the neck. Good, and keep going. You're going to feel some heat being created into the belly. Good. And then draw your knees into your chest. You're going to cross your ankles. You're going to roll up to a seated position. Okay, and then you're going to come forward onto your hands and knees. And then you're going to drop down to your forearms. Okay? Extending your right leg back, curling your toes under. You're going to do that same thing with your left leg. You want to lower your hips so your body becomes parallel to the floor. So scoop your tailbone, tuck your tailbone, draw your belly in. And just hold this shape and breathe. You're gazing down at your thumbs. And you kind of hear how my breath is kind of flowing in and out. It's very difficult to hold this pose. And if this is not challenging enough, you can actually lift one leg, hold it that way. Plank is probably the best pose that you can do in yoga. It helps strengthen the abs. So these are all different variations. This is called the elbow plank. Good. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, lower down. You can drop to your knees and then reach your hips back to your heels. This is called child's pose. You want to keep your elbows soft for this one and just let your forearms rest down on the floor. Let your head drop. Down. You're going to come forward, lifting your hips. Curl your toes under, walking your hands back. So your wrists line right up under the shoulders. And you're going to make sure your knees are about hip distance apart. Curl your toes under, just lift your knees. Now you're hovering your knees above the mat. Only about a couple of inches. There's about a 90-degree bend in the legs. And again, you can stay here. If you want to challenge yourself, try to keep the same shape in the left leg as you extend your right leg back. Hold that shape. Flexing your foot always helps the extended leg. Puts a lot of energy into that leg. Energy in the body, muscular energy to hold the pose. You bring your leg back and extend the other leg, flexing the foot. Good. And then bring that leg in. Okay, and then you can rest down. Take another child's pose. Try it with your palms turned up this time, keeping your elbows soft. Just let your head drop down to the floor. Good. And then turn your palms down. You can rest a little longer if you like. I want to come forward and up, lifting my hips. I'm going to curl my toes under, and I'm going to lift up into an inverted V position. This is called downward facing dog. And I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to shift forward into plank. Okay, plank. In plank, you need to engage your abs a lot to hold this position. Okay, and then I'm going to shift back on the out breath. I'm going to lift my sit bones up and back and shift back into downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in, shift forward again into plank. But this time lifting your right leg. Hold plank. Wait for the out breath, and then you're going to shift back and up. Good. Shift forward into plank again. Try to keep that right leg lifted, lowering the leg down just until it's parallel with the floor. And then lift it up and back again. And then inhale, shift forward again. Plank. And as you exhale, lift up and back. Good. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Okay, this time you're going to hold plank and draw your right knee into your chest. Round your spine a lot. Hold that for 3 to 5 breaths. Good, and then on the out breath, sweep it back and up. Shifting back into downward facing dog with one leg lifted, 3 length. And then as you exhale, lower the right leg down. You want to space your feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, shift forward into plank again. Lift your left leg this time. As you exhale, lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Inhale, shift forward again, plank. And as you exhale, lift up and back. Downward facing dog. 2 more times. Take a deep breath. Inhale, shift forward. Keep scooping your tail, drawing your tailbone, directing it towards the heels. Lift up and back. Inhale, shift forward again. And then exhale, lift up and back. Inhale, shift forward again into plank. Now draw your knee into your chest. Round your spine as much as possible. Pick your knee up as close as you can to your chest. Hold this for 3 breaths. Okay, 1 more breath. Good. Your next out breath, you're going to sweep the leg back and up, 3 limbed up. And as you exhale, lower down the left leg. Shift forward into plank. As you exhale, you're going to bend your elbows, keep them right by your ribs. You can modify dropping your knees or not. And lower down, chaturanga. Come all the way down to your belly and rest. Good. Now we're going to do a simple little stretch for the abdominals. So keeping your hands right under your shoulders. Press the tops of the feet to the floor. Take a deep breath and just peel your chest up for a little baby cobra. Okay, scoop your tailbone, direct your tailbone down towards your heels. Squeeze your elbows into your sides and just breathe. Good, and take 1 more breath. Good, maybe lifting up a little higher, and then exhale, drop down. Good, you can rest on your belly for a second. Good. Draw your belly in, press your palms down, and you're gonna keep your knees on the floor and shift all the way back to child's pose. Take a couple breaths there. You can turn your palms up and bring them back by your heels and rest like that. That feels really good. Let your shoulders round forward towards the floor. They've done a lot of work too. And then inhale and just come on up to sit. So hopefully that'll get you well on your way to having washboard abs, yoga style. In my opinion, it's the only way. If you keep up this routine a few times a week, you'll have washboard abs in no time, I promise. Thanks for watching. Bye.